You know, there are certain rumors in NASCAR that make you stop scrolling immediately. And this one? This one could seriously reshape the future of Hendrick Motorsports, because right now, Alex Bowman's future with the number 10. 48 teams suddenly feels way more uncertain than anybody expected, and now there's a brand new twist that honestly nobody saw coming. We are talking about Spire Motorsports. Yeah, that's Spire Motorsports. The same team that just a couple years ago people were laughing at is now being linked as a possible landing spot for Alex Bowman in 2027. And I'm just going to say it straight. This rumor tells us something much bigger is happening behind the scenes at Hendrick Motorsports. Because if Bowman's siege is even remotely in question, then the pressure inside that organization must be absolutely insane right now. And stick with me, because once you hear the names involved in this situation, the whole thing starts to make a lot more sense. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation News is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. So according to Fox Sports' Bob Pockrass, Alex Bowman has now been linked to Spire Motorsports as a possible option for 2027 if Hendrick Motorsports decides to go in another direction with the number 48 car. Now let that sink in for a second. This is Alex Bowman we're talking about, a multi-time Cup Series winner, a guy who survived one of the toughest seats in NASCAR after replacing Jimmy Johnson. A driver who has constantly had to prove himself inside arguably the most pressure-packed organization in the entire sport. And yet, here we are again. Questions, doubts, rumors. It honestly feels like every single season, Bowman has to fight off speculation about his future, and now the conversation is heating up even more because Hendrick has two incredibly hyped young drivers hovering around that number 48 seat. Corey Day, Connor Zilisch. Those names are not random names anymore. These are two drivers that the industry believes are future superstars. Hendrick Motorsports clearly sees massive upside in both guys, and the reality is simple. There are only 4 Cup seats available at Hendrick. That's what makes this whole thing so dramatic, because somebody eventually becomes the odd man out. And here's the thing, Bowman may actually be the easiest target from a business standpoint. Kyle Larson, untouchable. William Byron, championship caliber and still getting better. Chase Elliott, the sport's biggest star. That leaves Bowman. Now, before people get emotional in the comments, let me be clear. This is not me saying Bowman deserves to lose his ride. Not even close. In fact, I think Bowman gets underrated constantly. The guy has dealt with injuries, setbacks, criticism, and non-stop pressure, yet he still finds ways to win races and stay competitive. But in modern NASCAR, sometimes pretty good is not enough when superstar prospects are waiting in line. That's the brutal reality of top-tier organizations. And honestly, that's why the Spire Motorsports angle is fascinating, because this isn't the same Spire team from a few years ago, not even remotely. This organization has quietly become one of the most aggressive rising teams in the Cup Series garage. They've invested heavily. Their speed has improved dramatically in 2026. They've become more competitive week after week, and suddenly drivers around the garage are taking them seriously, very seriously. So if Bowman actually landed there, this would not be some desperate career-saving move. That could actually be a smart long-term play. Think about it. Bowman brings experience, stability, veteran feedback, race-winning credibility. He instantly elevates a growing organization. And for Spire, getting a driver from Hendrick Motorsports would send a massive message to the rest of the garage that they are ready to become a legitimate weekly contender. That matters. But now we need to talk about the bigger question nobody wants to say out loud. Is Hendrick Motorsports becoming too aggressive with driver development? Because eventually, you can't keep stockpiling elite young talent without difficult decisions happening. Connor Zilisch is viewed by many as a generational prospect. Corey Day has huge backing and momentum. Hendrick clearly wants to secure the future. But if they move on from Bowman too early and one of these prospects struggles in Cup, suddenly the decision looks very different. We've seen this happen before in NASCAR. Sometimes organizations get so obsessed with the next big thing that they undervalue proven drivers who already know how to win at the highest level. And I'll be honest, Bowman still feels like a driver with unfinished business. There are moments where the speed is absolutely there, moments where he looks capable of making deep playoff runs. But consistency has always been the conversation surrounding that. No 48 team, That's the key word. Consistency. And unfortunately, consistency is also the exact thing Hendrick expects from all 4 cars every single year. So now Bowman enters this really strange position where his future may depend less on talent and more on timing. Because if Hendrick believes Zilisch or Corey Day are ready by 2027, then suddenly Bowman becomes vulnerable no matter what he does. That's why this rumor matters so much. Not because a move to Spire is guaranteed, but because the fact people are even discussing it tells you the garage believes change is possible. And once rumors like this start gaining traction in NASCAR, they usually don't disappear overnight. Now, personally, I still think the most likely outcome is Bowman staying at Hendrick Motorsports. I do. Experience matters. Chemistry matters. And replacing a veteran driver is always riskier than fans think. But if Hendrick decides it wants to fully commit to used movement insanity over the next few years, then yeah, Spire Motorsports suddenly becomes one of the most interesting options on the table. And honestly, Bowman there could be a lot more dangerous than people realize. So now I want to hear from all of you. Should Hendrick Motorsports stick with Alex Bowman in the number Tony I, 48 car long term, or is it time to hand that ride to someone like Connor Zilisch or Corey Day? And if Bowman does leave Hendrick, could Spire Motorsports actually become a future championship caliber team with him behind the wheel? Drop your thoughts down in the comments because this debate is about to get loud across the NASCAR world. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like this video, subscribe to NASCAR Nation News, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next big story coming out of the Cup Series garage.